In today's episode of America's Backroads, I wanted to visit Rhode Island, the smallest state in all of the United States. In all 50 states, Rhode Island is the smallest one. It's this little teeny tiny state on the east coast of the United States, and I've always wanted to go there. I've always thought it was interesting that it's the tiniest state in all of the United States. But to make up for the fact that it's the smallest state, we're going to be visiting the biggest city in Rhode Island, Providence, which is also the capital. And from what I've seen, there's not really a whole lot to do in Providence. There's some museums and things to visit, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. Let's actually show you a little bit of the drive into Providence. In the last video I posted, we explored some interesting things in Fall River, Massachusetts, and that's where we are right here. We're at the kind of the outskirts of Fall River, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to show you a basically uncut video of driving from Fall River to Providence. I will trim down the length of some of the stoplights we run into, but other than that, it's going to be a mostly unedited video, which I think might be kind of interesting. Fall River and Providence are not very far apart. That's kind of the magic of the entire east coast of the United States. Everything is really, really close together, and you get these interesting, like I showed you in some of my earlier videos, 15 miles out of Boston, you get a really small town feel, whereas Boston is a massive city. So everything in this part of the United States is really close together, and it's kind of cool. So we're going to show you driving from the outskirts of Fall River, Massachusetts to Providence, Rhode Island. I hope you guys enjoy. So we have made it here to Rhode Island, and I'm actually just a few hundred feet away from the Capitol building, which is off in that direction, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But first, I wanted to show you the buildings behind me. The skyline is kind of cool. We have some skyscrapers off behind me here in this direction, along this tree-lined street that kind of curves off in that direction. It's kind of cool. I think it looks neat. Let me lift the camera up a little bit and let you all see that. I think it looks kind of cool. And as I said, off in this direction, behind these trees, through these trees, is the Capitol building. Now, I'm here on a weekend, and the Capitol building is closed to tours. I've heard the tours are free, though, which is kind of cool. I think they have some historical weapons and a replica of the Liberty Bell inside, and a portrait of George Washington, which is very famous, so some kind of neat stuff in there. But the outside is honestly just as grand as the inside, most likely, so I'm going to walk you around the outside as much as I can and show you some of the building. It's kind of cool. And that right there is the Capitol building, the Rhode Island State House. It almost kind of reminds me of, in some sort of odd way, the Taj Mahal. It's this giant dome protruding up. It also obviously has stylistic elements of the White House. It's, from that same sort of era. Now I'm going to try to get closer, but this here is just a little view of it. I think it looks absolutely magnificent. Parking for senators and representatives only. During session, authorized personnel only. Based on the fact that there's no cars in the parking lot, I'm going to assume not too much is going on here today. I love how, because when it was built, there was no real climate control besides fireplaces. Every single window has a window air conditioner in it. Also, I should mention, look at the cool brick road we're walking on, the brick sidewalk. It's really neat. So here's a closer view of the Rhode Island State House. It's a little bit backlit, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Across the street from the Rhode Island State House, you also have this very large brick building here. There's a sign in front, Rhode Island Department of Transportation, so not super exciting, but honestly kind of a cool looking building. And from this hill, you can kind of look down the street and see some beautiful scenery too. It's kind of interesting. You've got the very traditional State House, and then behind here you have the very modern skyscrapers. Very interesting kind of combination there. Here we have a really cool little cobblestone thing, and this is probably about as close as I can get. I'm not going to jump over any fences or anything crazy like that, but this here is probably the closest I'll be able to get to the Rhode Island State House. You got this big area here in front, and there it is. We can also come a little bit over this way and just take a little bit more of a look at Providence and just kind of see what it's like in this area of the town. Looks like there's a park across the way, across the road. Actually there is a place to cross the road. Maybe we'll go take a look at the park. Let's take a look at it from this side of the road and see what the sign says. What's this park dedicated to? Here's more stone brick cobblestone leading up to the State House. Here's a beautiful grassy lawn. Wow. Look at this. That's amazing. We've also got some other old style buildings over here. You've got something over there. It's not a park. It was so pretty I thought it was a park, but it's actually just the lawn to the Justice William E. Powers Building, Department of Administration, 1 Capitol Hill. The front lawn was so pretty I thought it was a park. There's some people over here who stepped up on the brick area here, and there's no signs or fences saying you can't, so maybe we'll take a quick little walk up to the front of the building and get a closer up view of it. There are some magnificent carvings on the front of the building, some beautiful decorations. The white granite, I believe this is granite. Could be marble, but it's very blinding. It's like I'm gonna get snow blind. But it's also very pretty. Let's see if we can step in the shade here and take a look here. Like I said, the building itself is closed today. But here's a closer view of the Rhode Island State House. Can we walk up on the steps? Let's try it out. Look at these massive wooden doors. They are huge. Look at that. You can see me in the window too. Hello. We got the archway over the front. I feel very small standing here. I feel very, very, very tiny. Because, I mean, look at me. Let me turn the camera around here. Look at me compared to the size of one of these pillars. Like, these are huge. These are absolutely gigantic. And then you've got the whole curved little, it's not really a ceiling, but it's like an overhang. I guess it is a ceiling. You've got the whole arched thing going on here. You've got the massive, massive doors. Very grand and imposing. I like this. Look at this. Very cool brickwork here. Stone bricks, I guess. Very impressive. And you can kind of even see inside a little bit too. You can kind of see. Wow, that's pretty. There's a cannon sitting there. And you can go up the stairs, and that's where all the official folks do their business. Government deals and all sorts of stuff. Kind of cool. And if you were to do a tour, they'd probably take you up there and all kinds of things. You can see there's some placards and things in this window that I'm sure a tour guide would probably talk about. There's another cannon. And there is someone in there. Huh. Doesn't even look official. He's in like a Hawaiian shirt. Well, that has been a little tour of the Rhode Island State House. I really hope you all enjoyed this quick little tour of this, but I think there's a little bit more in Rhode Island that we can check out. So I'm actually not going to go this way because that looks like it's blocked off. So we'll come back out the way we came, and we will see what else there is to visit in Rhode Island. As it turned out, there wasn't really too much else interesting to do in Providence, so we decided to continue heading southwest to Hartford, Connecticut. This is a really beautiful road. I don't know the name of it, but it's this really lovely highway that goes southwest from Providence. And it's a completely different area to drive through than what we've seen from going from Fall River to Providence. That was very urban. It was basically a city the whole way through, and there was nothing really remote or country about it. But this almost feels like you're in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, you're in a pretty developed town. You've got, lots of homes here and stuff, but it still has a very open plan and a very kind of a country feel. It's really nice. And later on in the video, we even get to see some old barns and buildings, outbuildings and things. So you get some pretty rural stuff here. Totally different environment to drive through. Very beautiful. I hope you enjoy this 8 or so minutes of driving footage. In the next video that you're going to be seeing on America's Backroads, we're going to stumble across something really cool on this very road with this very car, the 1935 Ford. So it's going to be really, really cool. I'm not even going to spoil anything or give any kind of a hint as to what is going to be in that video because I want you all to stay tuned for that one. It's going to be pretty cool. All I'm going to say is we get to see lots of cars. That's all I'm going to say, and that I think already kind of tells you what we get to do. But we just stumble upon something really, really cool on this road while driving past it, and we just thought it was really cool, so we decided to stop by and check out some really cool stuff here in the tri-state area, which is between Rhode Island and Connecticut and Massachusetts. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be really cool, and I hope you all enjoy the next video to come. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you on the road in the next video. Goodbye.